Hi, Facebook. This is my weekly vlog for those of you who prefer to listen to the blog that I posted versus read it. So, this week's blog is about Otherships, and I'm going to go ahead and just get started. So, my name is Tara, and it's been approximately 3 years since my last Othership. I wanted to start today's blog, whichever, with my own admission because I think it's really important to normalize the occurrence of Otherships and create a safe and compassionate place to discuss why they occur. So let me define an Othership. An Othership is basically a relationship that can begin as a friendship but evolves into something more. They take several presentations from an old boyfriend or girlfriend you may casually maintain contact with to an ongoing exchange with a coworker, friend, or neighbor. At their core, Otherships are basically an emotional, intimate, or romantic connection to another person that detracts from your relationship that you have with your partner. So to better explain the presentations of these Otherships, I'm going to list a couple of common examples. So one is maintaining contact with former lovers for the purposes of validation of your worth, attractiveness, or value. This is more likely to be the case if you've had on and off relationships with this person over the years. Another presentation is developing a significant relationship with someone outside of your primary relationship for the purposes of sharing things with this person that you don't share with your partner. Your feelings, your dreams, your hopes, your desires. Another presentation is having romantic feelings towards someone outside of your relationship that you cultivate by ongoing contact, interactions, and meetings. And then finally, having a relationship outside of your partner that meets your emotional needs that you long for your partner to be meeting. So I'm going to talk about the benefits of Otherships, and there certainly are numerous. They provide connection, companionship, approval, acceptance. But what they also do is they offer the opportunity to have your emotional needs met outside of your primary relationship, which can become problematic. So some of you may be thinking, wait, is she saying that I'm supposed to have all of my needs met by my partner? Well, no, of course not. If that was the case, then there would just be the two of you on Earth, right? And there are more humans. So people need people. That goes without saying. These relationships are very unique. For those of us who value monogamy, so if you're listening to this today and you adhere to polyamory or open relationships, this information may not really apply. But if your value for relationships is monogamy, then this may kind of resonate with you. So for those of us who value monogamy, there are certain needs we usually expect to be met within the context of our relationships. Sex is a really easy one to identify, but there are some others that I think we kind of gloss over or take for granted, like emotional vulnerability, safety, security, and trust. Do you expect to be one of the people your partner shares these needs with? And what would it be like for you to learn that your partner doesn't share his need for vulnerability with you because he doesn't think he can communicate with you without conflict, so he turns to a coworker? For some of us, that could feel really threatening and uncomfortable. So in my experience, Otherships can act as a diversion to typical developmental stages in a relationship. Every relationship, even yours, even mine, excuse me, goes through developmental stages. That's really normal. Most of us come together with stars in our eyes. And if you want to better understand that, you can read last week's blog or watch the video about is it love or is it lust. And once that fades, we tend to go into this conflictual period of learning to be together. If a couple can survive the stage of exactly how many water bottles do you need to have lying around and why are your clothes everywhere? If you can get through that stage, then you can move into creating a life together. This is where you usually make big purchases like houses, and you start planning for children, and you start taking trips together, those kinds of things. There's an awareness of one another's triggers and preferences that aid in avoiding the conflict that has gone before. The fourth stage of a relationship involves the creation and survival, note the word survival, of a routine. And there's certainly more to say about the developmental stages of a relationship, but for the purposes of today, I'm just going to kind of cap it at that. So while routines create safety and comfort, they can also usher in boredom, which for many of us can be a real challenge in relationships. So we're going to talk about these four stages today and how to kind of progress through them and what you need to do if you find yourself in an othership, because otherships can occur in any of these stages. So the first thing I recommend if you think you're in an othership is to tell your partner. One of the appeals of an othership can be the secrecy or the mystery behind. The next thing I'm going to recommend that you do is if your othership has evolved into flirting, or you recognize that you're developing sexual or romantic feelings for this person, if you desire to remain in your primary relationship and your value is monogamy, then you're going to likely need to end this othership. And I use the word othership in general because these relationships are really beyond friendships by the time they have developed into what they are. They are much more meaningful to us. Identify what's missing, if anything, from your relationship and share this with your partner. This may require you to kind of reflect on what was so special about this othership to me, and what needs is it meeting that I don't get met from my partner. Identify what is attractive about maintaining an othership for you. Does the othership offer you validation of your worth because you don't really like yourself all that much? Does it provide a space for you to talk that isn't threatening because you really don't intend to be close to this person, so it doesn't matter if they know all my deep dark secrets? And then finally, identify what makes you vulnerable to otherships. Do you turn toward others when you and your partner have conflict or fights? Do you notice that for some of us, our partners work away from home long periods of time? Do you notice that you seek out otherships when your partner is gone? So I want to make sure that I summarize the difference between an othership and a friendship before I end today. An othership, well, let me backtrack. A friendship typically supports your primary relationship, is known to both of you, meaning your partner is aware of your friend, and vice versa. And other friendships typically aren't used to meet significant emotional needs that our partner does not. Otherships, on the other hand, may be secretive, minimized, and rationalized. And most notably, otherships act as a diversion for one of both partners to working through a period of adjustment in the relationship. If you're in an othership, know that you're normal, you're lovable, and you're human. We all have needs for companionship and belonging that at times may be hard to get met through our primary relationship. Relationships require a significant amount of work and commitment to the process, and even then, they can still fail. I applaud anyone who has the courage to love wholeheartedly in the face of uncertainty. So check back next week, and I'm going to continue to talk about the progression of relationships. Bye.